But the mind is not in the brain. Remember that. Mind is not in the brain. The man who found out that the mind is in the brain and got a Nobel Prize for that, Wilder Penfield, is the same man who in 1971 wrote a paper, I am sorry for saying the mind is in the brain, and mind cannot be in an organ. Mind is not, one thought cannot be in the brain. Forget about it. In spite of 1 billion cells and 1 trillion neuron synapses, it is consciousness. The whole world has one mind, and you have your mind called individual consciousness. That is how you and I are connected. That's how a good teacher knows which student is cheating in the class. If you're a good teacher, know the students very well, you know exactly what a student is doing in the class. And this is very interesting. There's a nice book for all of you to read, for evening reading. Scientific book by one of the greatest scientists in Cambridge. And this book is called Dogs Know When the Owners Are Coming Home. Have you read that book? Rupert Sheldrake is this famous scientist, Rupert Sheldrake, and is a very big scientist in Cambridge. After he wrote this book, he has been dismissed from Cambridge University as a professor. Because he is told the truth. You can't tell the truth. The girl who showed that mind is not the seat of brain, because she showed for the first time that opiate receptors are outside the brain, and this girl should have got the Nobel Prize. She was tipped to get the Nobel Prize, but her boss added his name in the beginning, and he wanted to get the Nobel Prize for the work she has done. But this girl was a fighter. She went to the Nobel Committee and said, it's my work, and he has stolen it. So neither the boss nor the girl got the Nobel Prize, but what the girl got in return was dismissed from the NIH, National Institute of Health. National Institute of Health is like the palace in America, highest body. You know, where everybody in India, for example, sits in the ICMR or ICAR or this and that. Like that, the NIH is the highest body. And this girl lost her job. But this girl wrote a book for all of you. Molecules of Emotion. What's the book's name? Molecules of Emotion. What's her name? Candace Pert. And this book is getting her millions of dollars. And she is a very big celebrity now all over the world. But she showed that the mind is not in the brain. And all the diseases are in the mind. And when you know that, you can change your mind to change your body. Your body is your mind. Remember that? In quantum physics, matter is energy, energy is matter. It's not different. This was found out by Hans-Peter Dürr way back in 2004. When he wrote the paper and got the Nobel Prize. His paper you can read. Matter is not made out of matter. Please read that. It's for lay people. Matter is not made out of matter. And his name is Hans, H-A-N-S, Peter, P-E-T-R, D-U-R-R, Dürr. And he writes, I quote, I'm a nuclear scientist. What's my job? Look at matter at its subtlest level. I've been doing it for 55 years. One day I find there is no matter at all. So I call it as the A duality and get my Nobel Prize. But look at these Indian sages who called it thousands of years ago as Advaita and described quantum physics in one stanza, and I am their student. Who writes that? Today if you say that, they'll say you must be a saffron or something like that in India, you know. All our English educated people think Indian is bad. Most of us are RNIs. Do you know RNI? Resident non-Indians. We sit here and think with American brain. Now Americans think with Indian brain. And Hans-Peter Dürr says, I learned science from the Indian wisdom. And one sentence he describes the whole of quantum physics. Bahirantascha bhutanam. Energy is inside and outside of everything. Charam acharame vacha. Energy is all the time moving. You all look solid. You are not nothing solid about you. You are a bundle of jumping electrons. But you look solid. That's called Maya. He so beautifully describes that. Sukshmavate tavijnayam. It is so subtle that nobody can see it. No scientist till today has seen an electron. But we describe an electron. People have got Nobel Prize for saying electrons are particles. His own son after 30 years got a Nobel Prize for saying electrons are waves. And some other person said electrons are wavicles, waves and particles. And electrons are, we don't know what they are. Everybody got Nobel Prize. But the truth is, nobody has seen an electron. Nobody can see an electron. Sukshmavate tavijnayam. No vijnana, no science can find out an electron for a simple reason. Can you see God? No. Have you seen God? Have you felt God? Good. God cannot be seen like electron. But you can feel the electron. If there is no electron, what I speak here, you will not hear. And once you understand the human mind, and that's where I think every system of medicine teaching must have 1 year of human psychology teaching. Whether you're MBBS, BAMS, naturopathy, homeopathy, anypathy, you must be taught to have sympathy and empathy. And when you have empathy and sympathy, I'll tell you 2 experiments recently done to show how true this is. They found now Western science has found out its hollowness and is trying to go in search of old wisdom. Now scientists are studying a race of people called Tsimane are a group of aboriginals living in the Amazon forest, deep down in the Amazon forest, hundreds of miles inside. They have not touched reality. They don't have clothes, but they live up to 100, 120 years. They deliver there, no cesarean section, children are all alive, and they live 100 years. Now scientists are slowly going there to find out how they are living. Of course, it's very difficult because they are ferocious people. They think you are all this, the dress, they think you are something fancy dress and you are not human beings. They are absolutely naked, stark naked. But scientists are befriending them. A few scientists were killed by them. But still scientists are befriending and find out how they found. They found one thing. Their mind is absolutely filled with love. So no disease can enter them. I used to have a grandfather who died at the age of 98. And he was a big eater. That's why I always think people must eat. If they want to eat, they should eat. He was a very big eater. And whenever we as children got cold or cough or something like that, he'll call us and say, "You idiots, because you don't eat full. You eat half stomach, then cold enters." I mean, his theory. We may laugh at it, but I think he's right. And he says, "I eat full, how can cold enter?" So this is what the Tsimanes do. Tsimanes eat well, but they fill their mind with universal love. So now scientists think, it's the mind that controls your health. What is health? What is health? Let's see. Bhopal kya? Nahin. Mental well-being. Good. Any other definition? Very good, very good. You are better than the common rut. Common rut says Alma Ata definition of 1947: absence of physical, mental, spiritual, psychological, environmental, blah 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 disease. Do you know why this definition was given? This is a business definition. If you want to know if you are healthy, you must go and check up. When you check up, you become a patient. Did you know that? You didn't know. Because we don't have anything called normal in the humans. We have average. What is your blood sugar? I mean, blood sugar depends on the company's needs. When more companies need it, it comes down and comes down and comes down. When we were students, we were taught blood sugar is 200 postprandial and 120 fasting. And after 10 years, it came to 180 to 100. Now it came down further to 140 and 80. And it's coming down. Blood pressure also like that. So when you write to them and find out why it is coming down, they say we have evidence base. What is evidence? Nothing, except that they have got millions of dollars from the drug companies to lower it. And very interestingly, the JNC8, the latest blood pressure committee, has now raised the blood pressure normal. It was coming down to 110 by 70. Now the JNC8 says normal blood pressure must be 159 by 99. So I wrote to the chairman. I know him, Marvin Moser. I said, why did you take 9? Because there is no 9 in the blood pressure apparatus. Either it is 8 or 10, 100, 10. Why 9? Then he says, no, in your book on blood pressure, 1993, you wrote normal blood pressure was 160 by 100. We can't copy that. So we made it 159 by 99. This is interesting. And if you do that, millions of people will be removed from the blood pressure list for treatment. A study in British Medical Journal 3 months ago showed we have killed 15 million people by unnecessarily treating blood pressures which are normal. It's called mild to moderate hypertension. There's nothing called mild to moderate hypertension. If you know how to check the blood pressure, most patients, if not all patients, will become normotensives once you show them compassion. They are frightened of you. Why did the blood pressure ever was given to us? Do you know in nature? We were hunter-gatherers in the forest. And when you see a tiger coming, that's the cause of your death. Only tiger or snake or something like that. So you see the tiger, you get frightened. You must run away. If you have to run away, your blood pressure must go up, otherwise you can't run. So nature said, okay, let him have a sympathetic system, so he'll have adrenaline. When you see the tiger, you run. And blood pressure goes up, you run, blood pressure comes down. Today we have the same tigers in society. Your boss may be a tiger, your husband may be a tiger, your wife may be a tiger, your colleague may be a tiger, your junior may be a tiger. So you see this tiger, your blood pressure goes up. But you can't run because you have to live with the boss. Supposing you see Prashant as a tiger in the college, all of your blood pressure will go. He is a nice boy, that's a different thing. He is a good boy. He is so nice, like unlike a tiger. But if you see a tiger and live with the tiger, supposing your husband is a tiger and you have to live with him, your blood pressure is always up. If your wife is a tigress and you have to live with her, your blood pressure is up. Our modern medical treatment is give a chemical and record it low. That's no good. We have what is called surrogate research. Surrogate reductionist research, which says, I have given this tablet, his blood pressure has come down. What has happened to him? We don't know. Today we know some of the blood pressure lowering tablets are the ones which are giving stroke. Today we know a simple aspirin which used to give to every patient saying that you are 40, you take an aspirin. It increases heart attack incidence by 190%. 190%. And so now we don't even give aspirin in patients with atrial fibrillation. We give them some warfarin. What I'm saying is, unless you keep your eyes and nose wide open, you don't know what's happening in this world. So I call all those people as 21st century illiterates. You know what is illiteracy? Not knowing writing and reading. One who cannot unlearn what he has learned and relearn the right things. He is an illiterate. And today, don't be an illiterate in medicine. The reality today is, if you want to treat all health problems, you require all systems of medicine. You don't know how cheap and how easy to treat upper respiratory infections. Two small, simple homeopathic medicines. It will bring down budget by several crores. Because every upper respiratory infection today, the hospital gets an antibiotic. So the cost is gone up. Number two, when you give antibiotic to a viral disease, the immune system changes from T1 to T1-1, which is all either bronchospasm or vasospasm. So either he gets a heart attack after some time or he gets a asthma. We are manufacturing asthma now. 40% of patients on cholesterol-lowering statins become diabetics in 1 year. We are manufacturing, now 15 million people take statins in India. So we are making 1.5 million diabetics every year.